Welcome back to the Ed Show. Trouble in the heartland. A new poll shows President Obama's numbers down slightly, and suddenly there might be some hand-wringing going on here. The GOP says it proves he's too liberal for the country, and the Democrats get scared and run to the center. I, of course, keep them from doing that. A Gallup poll shows President Obama's approval rating among independents is starting to drop a little bit. In the month of June, an average of 59% of independents approved of the job he was doing. That's down 4 points from the average in May. Let's not miss the forest here, folks. The president still has the support of 59% of independents, but it comes on the heels of some pretty bad numbers out in Ohio. These numbers are all about the economy. The Quinnipiac poll shows that in May, 57% of the people approved of how the president was handling the economy. That dropped to a 46% rate. And at 48%, they say they disapprove of how he's handling the economy. Today, Vice President Joe Biden hit the road to the Buckeye State to talk up the stimulus package and hit back at the Republican critics.
What would they do? Would they repeal the tax cut for 95% of the American people once again, giving it to the wealthiest Americans? Well, ladies and gentlemen, would they do nothing? I hear nothing other than the criticism. I hear nothing affirmative. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't take this job. Barack didn't take this job to do nothing. We took this job to rebuild America. That's what this is about.
Joining me now on the phone is Ohio Congressman and former presidential candidate Dennis Kucinich. Congressman, good to have you with us tonight. I know votes are going on, and that's why you're on the phone tonight. You folks are working, but Congressman, do you think the administration is doing everything it can in your state of Ohio to get the economy cranking again?
Well, of course it can do more, but we have to realize that stimulus money in Ohio has been going to absorb the cost of another 200,000 people onto women and children onto Medicaid. Funds are being released, according to Government Accountability Office, even faster to states than the agency had anticipated. But you know what? It's not enough, Ed. We have to have a New Deal type program to put millions of people back to work rebuilding America. And I think this is where the administration is going to have to take another look at the economic needs of the country, address the almost 10% unemployment directly, address the need for $2.5 to $3 trillion worth of infrastructure needs to be built, and get America back to work. And if it does that, the economy will start picking up. But right now, Ohio has a lot of problems, no question about it.
Well, are you in favor of a second stimulus package, or are you talking about something greater than what we've already put out there to the tune of $780 billion?
Well, the first stimulus had $100 billion for infrastructure. We really need a massive injection of infrastructure building on the scale of a New Deal type program. New Deal rebuilt a good part of America. Bridges, water system, sewer system, roads, and reclamation projects. There's so much that can be done. And we need that right now. We need to put people back to work.
So are the Democrats failing right now at rebuilding this economy?
We need to do more. It's just not enough. And I think the administration is starting to come to the realization that as much as they feel they've done, they're going to have to do more. And that means that we've got to get America back to work. When you have millions of people out of work, unemployment going 10% and perhaps even higher in many areas across the country, we just have to do more. And I've been saying this from the beginning, Ed. We've got a great opportunity to take a page out of the New Deal and put millions of people back to work rebuilding America. It'll stimulate the economy immediately. It'll help businesses. It'll help the commerce of the country. And we need to put provisions on there to make sure we buy American.
And Congressman Kucinich, if those jobs aren't created, is the Obama administration and the Democrats in trouble in Ohio?
Well, I have to tell you, I never looked at this thing in pure partisan terms. I think it's about whether the American people are going to have an economy that is going to meet their needs. For jobs, for health care, for education, and the economy has to be directed towards that. And I'm hopeful that as this presidency of Barack Obama, which is still new, that he's going to be focusing even more on creating programs to get people back to work and rebuilding America.
Congressman, good to have you with us tonight. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ed. Good talk.
You bet. Congressman Dennis Kucinich, Ohio. For more, let's get back to our panel tonight. Jamal Simmons, John Harwood, and Ron Christie. John Harwood, it sounds like it's getting pretty rough for the president and the administration of the Heartland. It is all about jobs. Now, what's the timetable here, you think? When do we have to see these numbers turn around?
Well, this is a real timing problem for the administration because they expect unemployment to keep rising through next spring. So leave alone what it is right now. It's going to keep going up. I talked today to Henry Waxman, senior member of the House, chairs the Energy and Commerce Committee. He said if the economists tell us we need a second stimulus, we ought to do it and we can get the votes to pass it. But it has the potential to exacerbate those bad numbers among independents because they're concerned about the deficit, and you'd have to wait a while for that stimulus to work.
Ron Christie, are the Democrats and is the Obama administration failing with its economic recovery plan, or is the jury still out?
Well, I think both. I think obviously they told the American people that if they passed this stimulus recovery plan that unemployment wouldn't go above 8%. Now you have it at 9.5, and most economists are predicting that it'll be well over 10% into next year. I think the administration has a very small window now. They've sold the American people on why they needed this stimulus. What they promised hasn't been delivered, and I think independents now, they say that they want to cut the size of the deficit rather than put a health care bill through. The Obama administration, in my estimation, has about 6 more months before people really start turning against them on their stimulus package.
Jamal, is the second stimulus package on the way? Is it imminent? What do you think?
You know, I don't know if it's imminent or not. I think that we might need a little bit more time. Remember, the stimulus package they put in place was a 2-year program. They've got about, the White House was saying they've got about 25% of the stimulus funds already obligated. In Ohio, where Joe Biden was today, they say $80 million in contracts for 52 projects have already been let in the state. Across the country, you've got tax cuts, $43 billion in tax cuts, $65 billion aid to states for Medicare. So they're moving money. I would like to see some of it get actually out the door a little bit faster, but I think they are obligating the funds and trying to get it out the door as fast as they can.
All right, this might be a political opening. You never know for the Republicans. This is Minority Leader John Boehner today on what's happening in his state.
Mr. Vice President, where are the jobs? The administration promised the stimulus would keep unemployment below 8%. They promised the stimulus would create jobs immediately. It's pretty clear now that the administration was wrong. The bottom line is this. The stimulus isn't creating enough jobs.
Well, John Harwood, I think that the vice president went to Ohio for a reason today. They can't lose the sound chamber out there. They got to keep convincing folks they got the answer.
Absolutely, and they believe that they will get a bigger bang from the stimulus as the months go on, and that, in fact, the economy is recovering. But how long are people going to be patient and give them time before they say to President Obama and the Congress, you got to do something else?
Ron, does this put pressure on the Obama administration to make sure that they get public option in the health care bill? That would change a lot of lives in Ohio.
I think it might, but I don't think that they have the votes to get a public option through the Senate the way that it's currently drafted now. There are many centrist Democrats who are worried about the overall price tag for this when it creeps over $1 trillion. So I think the Democrats are in a very, very difficult spot right now. It gives us Republicans now an opening we've been looking for.
Quickly, Jamal, what do you think?
I think that the first quarter of this year, we're losing jobs, 700,000 jobs a month. That number has been going down. We had a bad month last month, but it's now in the 400,000, sometimes 500,000 range. The economy is getting worse, slower, which is a hard political case to make. But if by next year it's flatlined, it's going up a little bit,
okay,
Democrats might be okay in the fall.